It's Wizards versus Lesbians, a podcast for your ears. Hello, and welcome to the 5th annual Wizzly Awards. Can you believe it? I certainly can't. My name is Isaac.
I'm Alexis.
And with us we have Kiana.
Hello.
We have Leora.
Hi.
And we have Lee.
Hi.
We are going to change the format up slightly from last year. Today's nominators will be Leora and myself. The judges will be Alexis and Kiana, and Lee will be reprising their traditional role of only participating when absolutely necessary, i.e. when a tie needs to be broken, to avoid any potential conflicts of interest. Is that fair?
Yes. Yep.
Good. This is what we intend to do. So
Wish us luck.
I'm excited. Get ready for the pomp. Get ready for the circumstance. Get ready for the majesty.
Get ready for trouble.
Get ready for our first award category, which is Best Wizard. And we will switch back and forth who nominates first. Leora, would you like to kick off the 5th annual Wizzly Awards, please?
Absolutely. I'm going to start by causing trouble right away.
Yay!
And for the Best Wizard, I am nominating the titular vampire from The Vampire by P.H. Lee, who I feel really exemplifies the archetype of a certain kind of manipulator. I feel that this is excellent representation for the kind of wizard who uses a lot of social justice-y language to justify their abuse. And, like, what is more wizardy than somebody being like, it's abusive for you to refer to me, actually?
This is a remarkable move, first off. Luckily, I'm in a good strategic position to counter this, because I'm going to nominate Lawrence Aren't Sales from Piranesi, which was, of course, the episode that Lee was the guest on, and which is a book that Lee enjoys a tremendous amount. Lawrence Aren't Sales is the most wizardy wizard that we discussed this year. This was actually not a super good year for wizards. It was a pretty good year for lesbians, I think, but the wizards were not super thick on the ground. And not only is he a sexually predatory, abusive, amoral college professor / cult leader, but he's also an old bearded man who speaks in riddles and is generally does not particularly care about the fate of our protagonist, even as he sort of posts signposts and guides for how the protagonist is going to get out of his situation, which I think is extremely wizardy. And that is my pitch. So for the judges, let's go Alexis first this time, and we'll continue to swap back and forth if we remember to do that.
Yeah, so I'm going to vote for the vampire largely because I think Kiana's gonna agree with you, and I want to make Lee break the tie.
And obviously because I made a compelling pitch, right?
And also because Leora made a compelling pitch.
Of course.
I see we've immediately devolved into pure gamesmanship.
Yes.
I mean, bullying is how I would describe this.
Right, well,
I'm trying to give Lee a very prestigious award.
I'm trying to give Lee the chance to vote, to break a tie and vote for, a book that they really like.
Kiana?
Having been put into this high-ranking position as a judge, only to immediately find out I'm a mere puppet of the real shadow government here. I'll play my part and vote for Lawrence from Piranesi, who I do think is a tremendous wizard and a very good pick.
Cool.
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to vote for myself. You've done a very good job of the years throwing me like stories written by my friends and stuff like that to see if I would. And I've always been like, yeah, I'm happy to vote for my friend. I'm obviously not going to vote for myself. Also, Lawrence Aren't Sales is an amazing wizard. Although I thought he was described as clean shaven. He really is in my head as clean shaven, but
He might very well be. I might have made that up.
also notably for just sort of his general magic credentials, he's actually gay rather than just pretending to be gay for Tumblr cred.
Yeah. No, I think this is the correct decision. But, Leora wanted to kick us off by causing problems, and I'm
You're a
trying to
very
be as
supportive spouse.
I try.
I would like to take the opportunity to shout out a couple of other wizards from this year that I thought were very good, including um, the Sebaster, the weird demon from Asunder, Aunt Tigress from Aunt Tigress, and the Japanese Empire from Taiwan Travelogue. Would have been excellent choices. But yes, obviously we're going with Lawrence Arnsales.
Lawrence Arnsales. Am I going to do this for every one of these, really?
Note for our listeners that we did agree prior to recording that we are excluding Moby Dick from most categories as it is just too powerful, because Ahab would also be a compelling choice for Best Wizard.
I do have a few honorable mentions as well. Len Bronstein from the Golem of Brooklyn for being an actual magic user who is a man but not a wizard.
Yeah.
Which is just interesting.
Yeah.
Garou from Lot would have been my...
That's such a good pick.
Oh, I had him on my list
Yeah.
too.
The Doe from Bride Butcher Doe for being extremely cool.
Yeah. So actually, there's some
there
decent...
were some good wizards. I also had the Needle from When They Burn the Butterfly, who's doing all the blood experimentation stuff.
And what's his face from To the Resurrection Station?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, okay, so perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps this was a reasonable year for wizards. But what kind of year
Reasonable
was
year.
it? From...
It wasn't a great year for wizards, but it wasn't a terrible
Let
year.
Isaac do the transition.
No, it's fine. It's fine. First of all, how dare you? And second of all, my gender presentation is very firm on this podcast. And
My apologies. Isaac was about to initiate a smooth segue.
into the best lesbian you've ever seen in your lives.
Well, you first, Isaac. Go for it.
Yes, my nomination for best lesbian this year is Nanako Misono from Onisama A, because despite being such a newly minted baby lesbian, her sheer force of lesbianism is really inspiring. Her ability to have a crush on any woman who is slightly taller than her, who enters the frame, even if they're like objectively evil, awful, abusive, suicidal, you know, etc. And like even on minor characters that pass by, I think that she's covering a lot of ground, and so she's my pick.
Excellent. I'm nominating Belinda from To the Resurrection Station, who I think really exemplifies an important micro-demographic of lesbians, which is to say people who are almost exclusively lesbians, but with the occasional exception for a charismatic, anthropomorphic, large, charming mouse. Rat. Creature.
That is a
is
controversial move. To nominate a character who ends up with a man at the end of the story for best lesbian.
I think it's important that we recognize those members of our community. She's still very lesbian.
She is still very lesbian.
That's true. Kiana, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, my only personal experience is with Onisama A, and Nanako is like incredibly gay, so I will go along with Isaac's pick here.
I'm enjoying how this is playing out. Alexis?
This is a hard one. They are both very compelling. They are both extremely gay. I think I'm gonna give it to Nanako because first of all, they're both good retro lesbians, but Nanako really does set a model for generations of lesbians after her. And also, she doesn't even need the concept of lesbianism to be introduced to her. She just, once you put her in an environment with several taller women, like, she's good to go forever.
Yeah, she constructs it from base principles.
And also, she's from an era where almost always, women in that position end up with men, and she doesn't.
That's true.
She remains gay through the end, despite being from a retro era. And alive.
Yeah.
So I think it was actually really, Belinda was a really good choice, and you make a compelling argument. But, you know, I think Nanako, we really have to respect our forebears here. Nanako is just more influential as far as lesbians go than Belinda was.
Fair, fair.
Nanako Miso no.
Also, honorable mentions to Miri from the Golem of Brooklyn for the cringiest possible lesbian first time, and to Safi from Incandescent for literally being named Safi.
Safi is also on my list for literally being named Safi.
Yeah.
Word.
For word, it's really nuts. Also, I want to mention Darren from Shell Game for again being or representing an underserved demographic, i.e. the big dumb lesbian, who we don't see in the kind of books that we read very often. So it was nice to see her there.
Yeah.
You know, this was a great year for lesbians, honestly.
And there's Angelina, who just, like, makes it her business to give all the lesbian tourists discounts.
That's true. I mean, she's really serving the community there, too. Awesome. Okay. So next, best wizards versus lesbians. Best conflict between a wizard and a lesbian. Alexis, your go.
I'm a judge.
God dang it. Leora, your go.
I'm nominating Red Butterfly versus Three Steel versus literally everybody from When They Burned the Butterfly. I found this to be a really excellent conflict. For one thing, like, everybody sucks. It's not a clear good versus evil, men versus women. Clearly the women are the good ones when they're all just gangs and they're all beating up the minor civilians who just happen to walk across their paths, and they're causing vast amounts of structural, physical, and emotional damage to all of Singapore.
Or at least Chinatown.
I would like to nominate Safi Walden versus what's his name from The Incandescent. And I think the fact that I can't remember his name does...
Mark?
Yeah, I think his name is Mark.
Mike?
I'm willing to accept that his name is Mark. I think this plays into my hands here a little bit. Because I'm doing an awards show classic, which is I'm offering a really conservative meat and potatoes, like straightforward wizards versus lesbians conflict here. I think that this was the most prototypical Wiz-Les conflict that we did, in that he's like a manipulative, pathetic snake of a liar and a spy cop, and not even the real bad guy at the end. He's that, you know, like inconsequential, but he does manage to turn Safi into a wizard of the real wizarding type through his skeeviness. And I think that is extremely wizardly of him. And so
So another good wizard, really, for the...
Yeah, another pretty good wizard. It was a better year for wizards than I thought. So that is my sort of, like, you know, straight across the plate nomination for this award.
Both very strong nominees. I think while The Incandescent offers a good meat and potatoes conflict, I think the fact that the wizard is so unmemorable and isn't even the core conflict of the book undermines it for me. And I think When They Burned the Butterfly really starts out looking like your classic wizards versus lesbians conflict and remains one throughout. But the fact that it then sort of expands to take down large swaths of Singapore with it does, I think, make it a more memorable conflict. So I'm gonna vote for Butterfly on this one.
I think I'm also going for Butterfly. The skeeviness of the wizard in The Incandescent, that's very compelling, but I think to be memorable as a wizard is like you have nothing else.
Right.
To me.
That is kind of the thing about being a wizard, isn't it?
Very good pitch. But yeah, I'm going to go with Butterfly on this one.
It's funny because my notes have Walden v. Phoenix as a backup choice for The Incandescent. I didn't even remember
All right.
guy. Who I think is named Mark.
Probably. He seemed like Mark.
It's Adeline versus versus all those guys. I will give my suggestion for best romance, which is, I believe, the next category on the list.
Indeed.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Angelina and Jagvi from Feast While You Can. Not only is it complicated, not only do they have to overcome, interpersonal hurdles and like misunderstandings and jealousy and figure out how to trust one another and all of that, but we have a problem in our Wizards versus Lesbians books, and particularly with the romance angles of the books, particularly the ones that feel most thrown away, that we are told that the characters are attracted to each other, but that is it. We are told that they look at each other and feel certain things, but we are not given any reason that they might do so, nor do we delve into how they might do so. And the sheer, like, earthy, believable horniness that shines through in the Angelina Jagvi relationship, the specificity of it, while at the same time not even being the core of the book. Like, it's a better romance than some of the actual romance focused books that we've done, while like letting the plot continue to happen. And in fact, like bolstering the plot thematically. For me, it was, I think, far and away my favorite this season.
I think that was very compelling, and I go to my second choice on my list, which already Ishmael and Queen. No, sorry, we said we're not doing those. I'm nominating Willa and Hawk / Butterfly / whatever her name turns out to be from Volatile Memory. For kind of similar reasons. I feel like their relationship is really what makes the book go. And they have some interesting dynamic, and their mind sex at the end when they sort of meld was interesting and very much dealing with the mortifying ordeal of being known and then finding love there, which felt very lesbian to me. Also, they 100% U-Haul in a stolen spaceship.
In the same body.
In the same body.
Yeah, definitely gonna give this to Feast While You Can. Although I really liked Leora's pitch as well for the runner-up.
Yeah, honey, Leora's pitch was quite good. It was better, I think, than the actual romance.
It was not necessarily supported by the text. Version.
Yes, it was a good pitch, but no, I mean, Angelina and Jagvi were far and away the best. Really one of the stronger romances in the history of the podcast, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Really compelling. Isaac is right, very specific, extremely convincing, and just the right amount of fucked up. So
Angelina and Jagvi. I'd like to give an honorable mention to Bia Usma and a bunch of dead Norwegians from.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Which is a romance. It says so.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Biosma and the entire Andre expedition.
All right. Well, after giving Lee a sort of explosive start, we've not given them a lot to work with. So that's worked out.
That's fine. I'm just ducking out.
Okay. Leora, best love interest, I believe, is the next one.
I do indeed have best love interest. I considered many different candidates here before going with... Oh no, moment of truth, I need to actually decide. Going with Ivy from Jane Unlimited. We get to see their romance play out in some different kinds of genres and their continued dynamic. I really liked her as a love interest. I thought she had some interesting things going on, and I also just really enjoyed that a lot of their relationship is like she's willing to listen and be like, you are grieving. I know something about grief. Let's just be together in this very weird space, whatever weird space that turns out to be, whether it's alternate universe spaceship version of my weird mansion house, or now we're ducking in dumbwaiters on a spy adventure.
I also now have to decide. It's weird that this is both the one where we listed a bunch of things and then we're like, I'll figure it out later. I'm going to go with the one where I've written for obvious reasons on here. which is Asaka Rei from Onisama A. Because a 7-foot-tall basketball-playing, consumptive French romantic poet who plays guitar and the piano and is incredibly beautiful and needs you desperately, but can't ever actually be with you. But you can, like, you know, dote on them and smoke their cigarette ends and smell their handkerchiefs and bring them, you know, fruit baskets. And the erotic knife throwing. I forgot about the erotic knife throwing. It's extremely compelling. And, like, it is compelling in a completely bogus way compared to Ivy, who's compelling in a remarkably real way, given how, you know, how phantasmagorical that setting is. But so that's my pitch. In the spirit of the love interest, the ideal versus the, you know, the person who might actually be good for you.
I will say that the runner-up candidate for me, speaking of the ideal versus the real, was Ava from Bunny, whose narrative role is to be the perfect love interest. That turns out to be all she is.
In my notes here, Ava from Bunny for being literally too good to be true. Great minds thinking alike.
Precisely.
Yes. I think I vote first on this one. I'm gonna vote for Ivy. Because for one thing, Rei, despite being the love interest, is more in love with her sister than with Nanako.
Nothing in the love interest says that the love interest has to reciprocate. She's just the love
It's
interest.
true, but I feel like, you know, to be the best love interest, it helps if there's a little bit more of a romance. But also, this is just, I really like both the, you know, alternate universe idea of, you know, would we work in every universe, and also the idea of a good love interest being somebody who isn't. I mean, the entire point of Jane Unlimited is that she gets contrasted with all of these unrealistic, big romantic things, and Ivy is just sort of there being fairly down to earth, which I really liked. So I'm voting Ivy.
I'm gonna vote Rei because she's so, like, much as you know, the protagonist is like this core concept in like shoujo and yuri. I think Rei has influenced so much, including characters who are like literally love interests in like visual novels down the line. So I'm voting Rei on this one.
Lee, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Ivy from Jane Unlimited because you've posited this as the real versus the ideal, and I think when you frame it that way, I have to vote for reality. Like, that's just, it's a very heavy sort of thing. But yeah,
we're shaking our heads in slight disagreement, but we accept your answer.
yeah, I can see. Plus, I'm doing the terrible awards show thing where I make having previously won an award count
yes.
against the work,
That's fair.
which is terrible practice and no one should do. But I'm absolutely doing it here.
Okay, then.
Next up.
Best token good man, or good dude is what I have written here. I think I am actually going to have to go for Angelina's brother in Feast While You Can, who puts up with so much bullshit in that book and has no reason to continue to come through while absolutely everybody else is turning into like a lynch mob. And still comes out the other end being supportive of his sister, even as she becomes a literal demon. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Angelina's brother because family from Feast While You Can. Patrick.
A compelling pitch. I know his name is Patrick because I have it written down in my notes. And yet, I am nominating for Rain from Asunder, which is a book full of terrible people and especially terrible men. Our poor protagonist has just an abusive god possessor who is very definitely male. In Sebasta, her father, her brother, her sort of father-in-law, Rain's dad, The random cannibal wizard guy they meet in the desert. She's just meeting terrible wizard man after terrible wizard man. But the one who is stuck in her head is a token good wizard. He's just, like, actually kind of kind and interested in keeping his word and cares about her. So, he's my nominee.
Kiana.
This is tough.
Yeah.
I do think part of the category, or the essence of the category, is like how misandrous the surrounding work is. And in this case, at least to me, and in this case, I feel like Asunder has more of that contrast. So I'm actually going to go with Asunder here.
This one's really hard.
It's hard, yeah.
Like, because Patrick really is such... Patrick is such a token good dude. Like, he has all the characteristics of being the good dude. But I think Kiana's right. I think the general misandry of the world, the fact that, you meet so many awful men, I think it is going to have to go to Farain, though I'm sad that neither of you nominated the Rat Man from To the Resurrection Station.
I'm hearing the Oscar nomination voice in my head saying, the Rat Man from Station.
No, I think it's... But anyway,
What a snub!
He's not even that good, is the thing.
No, Patrick was
Token
my
mid-man.
second,
token
my runner-up.
mid-man.
If you
also,
nominated
he's not actually a
Farain.
man. He's a rat.
Token mid-rat.
Token mid-rat.
Terrible.
For the record, I think Farain was the correct choice there. Farain. Farain. Best monstrous child of narcissistic parents.
Oh, this is a
Man,
banner
this
year
was-
for that.
Such a year. I have so many candidates on my notes, and yet I kind of wish I were going second so that I could pitch, a different one from whatever you pitch. But I'm going first, and I'm nominating Momo from the Membranes, who, first of all, super narcissistic parent. Like, I think that really speaks for itself. Second of all, she's monstrous on multiple levels. She is monstrous in her behavior towards other people, which is super creepy. And also, like, she's a brain in a box. She's not fully human. Her whole existence is, like, framed around these brief scenarios that her mother has written. So there's some real narcissistic parenting going on there. That's kind of, she's extrapolated from beyond that to create a whole monstrous life.
I'm going to nominate Adeline from When They Burned the Butterfly, because while Momo's mother is a much more powerfully narcissistic parent than Adeline's mom is still a narcissistic parent. In the, we're not going to tell the daughter or the child any of the important details about, like, where I come from, what is happening, what danger she might be in, because we're creating a new life that is completely separate from that, and I want her to grow up to be a certain way and to be a part of a certain world, kind of narcissistic parent. But the edge, I think, for Adeline is just the sheer monstrousness that she attains as a result of all of this, where not only is she a kind of a violent psycho at the beginning, but then becomes a murderous kidnapping gang leader, and who runs extortion rackets and preys on everybody, and then at the end becomes like a walking nuke embodiment of revenge, like fire elemental, god conduit, all of which might have been avoided if her mom had at any point sat her down and told her what was going on in their lives. So Adeline's my pick.
Both extremely strong candidates. This one's and also both very strong books. So it's a hard choice for me. I think I'm going to go with Momo because I think at its core, the monstrous child of a narcissistic parent trope is often about
It's fittingly about the parent. Yeah.
Well, partly it's about the parent, but also it's specifically the monstrosity of the child is often a metaphor for the parent's inability to deal with their child's neurodiversity. And I think Momo, as far as just being a real, just the perfect encapsulation of, what happened, of the way that an autism mom can turn her child into a monster and dehumanize her child. And, I mean, I'll note, Adeline is definitely the worst human being on all levels, but Momo is still quite monstrous. I mean, her entire job is making and repairing war machines. And she's doing this through the metaphor of creepily spying on people who want, better skin. So I think you're slightly underselling Momo's monstrousness. And again, the sheer narcissism of her mother cannot be understated. So even though real hard choice, I think I gotta go with Momo. Or Momo.
It's a tough one. I think for sheer scale of destructiveness right now, I'll just give it to Adeline for another fun tiebreaker.
That's great. I'm happy you got all the easy ones. Thank you, by the way, for pointing out that Momo is part of a weapons system. I think that is an important aspect of how extremely messed up that book is, and also her situation is. This is really difficult, as everyone else has already noted. But ultimately, I just think because of the phrasing of the award, I am going to give it to Adeline, because she is the best monstrous child of a narcissistic parent. Rather than if it was best narcissistic parent, it would go to Momo's mom.
Despite having nominated Adeline, I feel like that's wrong. Am I centering the victim? Is that a problem? Is that what you're saying? Wow. Okay. I'll shut up then.
Shout out also to Angelina from Feast While You Can as another really excellent monstrous child of a narcissistic parent.
Yeah, no, this was a really good year for this category.
Actually, I think I might have had to vote for Angelina because she's so monstrous and her mother is so narcissistic.
I ended up going with Momo because of the underlying metaphor, and I just felt like that was what the whole book was.
Yeah.
And I felt like Feast While You Can had a lot of other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, difficult choice. And to be clear, Butterfly was also on my short list.
It's Adeline. This is all of the best books or many of the very best books that we did this year had this as their central, trope.
I would also like to shout out every species on Earth in Teen Resurrection Station. Individually, the rats, the robots, the dolphins, and the surviving humans could all be monstrous children of narcissistic parents.
The 70s, man. Alrighty then. So the next category is Best Jingle. And I'm now in a position where I have to nominate one of my own jingles for Best Jingle in the height of self-indulgence. So rather than nominate one of the good ones, I am going to nominate one of the ones that I am the happiest to have done, or that I'm the most proud of. And this year for me, that is the series of hybrid Italian-Romanian jingles that I did in an effort to continuously make excuses for myself for having read a book that was extremely set in northern Italy and insisting that it was set in Romania for an entire podcast, only to realize later what I had done, and then incorporating various Italian tunes and what might have been vaguely recognizable as the Hungarian national anthem, Oh, right, Hungarian. So yeah, that's my nomination. That's the one that I'm happiest that I managed to fix the episode in that way for myself via the medium of song.
I had absolutely no idea you were doing that. That's amazing.
Oh man.
Yes, we're going to the spoiler zone for this book set to the north of Rome, the north of Rome, the spoiler zone, the north of Rome, the spoiler zone, the north of Rome, the spoiler zone. Please ignore my problems and go to the spoiler zone. And the grandma I was thinking of, the very grandma I was picturing when I made that remark, was an Italian grandma. Italo disco, I guess.
Okay, well now I feel obligated going in the other direction. I'm going for the ones that I thought had really interesting things to add to the content of the podcast and or were really fun. I considered many. High on the list was the Blow Up the Sun medley from Zeta Base.
Oh, it's so good.
Girls
Love that
just
one.
want to blow up the sun. It led
So
to
good.
some really delightful cartoon art. Huge fan of that. I also want to shout out Winslow and Huddle from The Golem of Brooklyn because I think you did a great job of taking a bunch of things that I put in a text message and making them rhyme and like putting them to klezmer-y stuff. That was great. But ultimately, my nominee is Everybody Needs a Hobby from the latest short fiction roundup. It was accompanying Abstraction is when I design giant death creatures, and Attraction is when I do it for you. It was kind of depressing, but it was super catchy, and also the depressingness I felt really worked with the depressingness of the story, and it really called out a very specific kind of ennui with, like, I have to keep living my life and doing my job even though I live in a dystopia, but maybe I can volunteer as my free time hobby. So that's my ultimate nominee.
Is revolution right for you? Do you have moral qualms? Don't be ashamed to tell. Did our national mythologizing work too well? And you can't grow up and put aside those childish things. Overly scrupulous, you might have OCD. Go and see a doctor and get back to me. Or is it faith for your mental health? You want to follow something bigger than yourself, and being patriotic isn't good enough. Improve your self-esteem, you should pursue a dream. We have a wide variety available. If it's God who disapproves, I invite you to peruse this list of local branches of your church of choice. All are article explanations, read the goodness of the nations, and they're all polite campaigners for reform. Or if you're secular, there's charities that might be better for your needs. Have you considered doing things with dogs? So many shelter pups. Everybody needs a hobby. Or are you desperate? Are there a lot of you? We tried to keep you happy back when we had to, and your life is filled with more than all the nothing you'll achieve by fighting back. Or are you that obsessed? Honestly, you sound a bit depressed.
Yeah, I'll go with the one Leora nominated. But some really, really good jingles this year. Even though I'm not nominating, my honorable mentions are the series of horrible bee puns, and the cannibalism jingle, and everything from Moby Dick, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the cannibalism jingle too. I'll eat you and you eat me in the new economy.
This is really hard. This was a great year for jingles.
It truly was.
Setting aside, again, everything from Moby Dick, and the bee puns and the Blow Up the Sun medley. They're all so good. I think I'm also going to go with Everybody Needs a Hobby, though. I thought that was, a good song. Just a great jingle. Though if the cannibalism one had been nominated, I probably would have voted for that one.
Thank you. Those are both ones where I actually wrote a melody rather than just steal it from somewhere else. So I appreciate that.
The series of jingles you did for Feast While You Can was great.
I just want to take a brief moment. I know that the Moby Dick jingles have been mentioned multiple times, but the row jingle,
So
the one
good.
is
so good.
just legitimately a very, very good song, and you should go listen to it again. It's very good. I've listened to that so many times. Anyway.
We'll have Isaac post that one separately to the Tumblr so that
that's a
everyone
good idea.
can listen to it again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
great year for
Isaac
jingles,
Isaac is aglow and smug with everyone's praise.
good.
job.
Sure,
As
absolutely.
he should be.
As you should be.
Deadest author in the Barthian sense, Leora.
Tanya Huff from Direct Descendant, because I found your alternate reading that you guys developed over the course of the podcast, where the real horror story was the love story, with some mind control stuff going on. I found that really compelling as a counter reading to the actual text, and thus I thought that was the deadest author.
My nominee is also Tanya Huff, so that works out real well.
Great.
Tanya Huff. Moving swiftly along
For least dead
to
author.
least dead author, which is a new category for this year. My nomination for least dead author is Mercedes Lackey, because you knew what she thought about it at all times. There was no question that you knew what you thought about it. And in case you were wondering, there was also plenty of explanatory essays about what she thought about it included alongside the stories. So gonna give it to Misty this time around. Lyra?
Compelling. My nominee for least dead author goes to an author who was a heavy presence in 2 episodes that you did, was mentioned quite a lot in several other episodes, and yet whose work you did not actually cover. That is correct. I am nominating Jean Le Carré for least dead author.
Wow. And his deadness was so central to Carla's choice. Ooh.
That's real compelling, actually. No, I think I have.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, actually, sorry. No, Kiana, you go first.
No, I'm kind of struck dumb momentarily by
This
the
is literally
reveal.
why I insisted on this category.
God, that's good. I'll be the traditionalist. I'll vote for Lackey just in the spirit of the original sense, but I think that's an incredible choice on Leora's part.
No, I think I have to go with Le Carré because indeed, I mean, in terms of the author's motivations and life and everything being so central in the podcast, even though we didn't cover any of his books, I think that's really compelling. So yeah, I'm voting for him.
Lee, good luck.
I'm just gonna be very boring and non-analytical. Mercedes Lackey is alive. Jean Le Carré is not alive. I'm giving it to Mercedes Lackey.
Oh man.
The third way to read the question. Very good. Cutting through it. Excellent. Beautiful. Mercedes Lackey. Most disastrous couple.
All right. I am nominating Adelaide and Tien. We have already discussed their various things a bunch, but I think it is important that they leave a whole lot of blood and smoldering ashes and devastated people behind them, and also that their romance is pivotal to what causes the end of that book to be so disastrous, because they both cause the other one to escalate. Throughout, there's a lot of opportunities where one or the other of them could step back, and it is their relationship with each other that makes it keep escalating.
All right, I'm going to pivot here for strategic reasons, because my what I have down on the page here is Asaka Rei and Miyasama from Onisama A, but we've already established that loses points. And also, while that relationship does have a body count, it is not as large as the body count from when they burn the butterfly. So I'm going to have to pivot to a disastrous couple without a body count. As previously mentioned, it's Miri Apfelbaum and the woman who she told she had an evil twin sister in order to keep dating her after her first disastrous hookup from the Golem of Brooklyn. Because I have not been as appalled reading anything this year in terms of like interpersonal relationships as I was reading that scenario. That very long and drawn out scenario from the Golem of Brooklyn.
Yeah, that How I Lost My Virginity story was amazing. However, I wouldn't really consider them a couple. So, and also, Adeline and Tien, they really just bring out the worst in each other constantly. They really are just like a disastrous couple.
Yeah, I'll give it to Leora's pick in the spirit of the original phrase, but yours made me laugh very hard.
Yes. And I'm glad that has gotten called out. That was a great scene.
It's Adeline, and Tien. Now, most misandrist. I'm going to go with the Witch Trap, the short story that we covered earlier in the year. The one about the academic professional woman who doesn't like that the builder called her darling? I don't even think it was that.
Jen. I think it was a nickname.
Oh yeah, the builder called her Jen instead of Jennifer. And this caused her to enter a reverie about how the historical and also like people not paying attention during her lectures causes her to enter a reverie about about how all of the pain that women have endured over the years, it's no wonder that they, are haunted by this and turn into haunted evil objects. And the sheer loss of any kind of perspective, particularly economic perspective, in the face of personal insult, and the basic theme of the story being like the great injustice of misogyny is that I am not allowed to be treated like the upper class overlord that I am simply because I was born a woman. It was something. So I'm going to go with the Witch Trap.
Excellent pick. I had forgotten about the Witch Trap. I'm nominating the Sapling Cage, which gets points for being trans-inclusive misandry, but ultimately has the whole plot sets up this like good, nurturing female magic versus the bad industry magic of the males, with their sapling cages that are just exploiting and destroying all that is good and pure and nature in the world.
My point of order is that I'm not sure that's how that book went.
I didn't read that book. That was my impression from your. That was my impression from your podcast about it.
I was like, I don't think that's what happened, actually.
Okay, then I take it back and I'll nominate my next choice, which was Volatile Memory, which just didn't have any decent men at all. It had 5 characters, and 2 of them were girls, and the rest were terrible men.
Yes, and one of the men was named Orchid, and he was...
I'm sorry?
Orchid, because of his testicles.
Yeah.
But,
of course.
I think that's a better pick.
Yeah, it's a better pick.
Great, I misunderstood and misremembered the sapling cage. Let's go with Volatile Memory.
Excellent. Kiana?
Yeah, I actually vividly do remember reading The Witch Trap, and I am willing to give it to that book, or that short story, just because of how focused it is.
Yeah, I gotta give it to the Witch Trap for suggesting that people being bored at your conference paper presentation is in fact an act of sexism and not literally every single conference presentation I've ever attended.
The Witch Trap. And our next category then is Best Frenemy.
I shall nominate the Golem from the Golem of Brooklyn,
Ooh, that's solid.
who, like, really is both in that narrative and in general is, like, your best friend who's there to defend you, but also, holy shit, please stop committing murder. I didn't intend that. Thus, the Golem.
I confess that I didn't have a lot of strong thoughts about this one for this year, but I'm going to go with Jogby from Feast While You Can. See previous discussion of, I mean, that it's sort of frenemies to lovers, but she's just that good, and so I will throw her on the pyre of not getting a repeat award.
As much as I love Jogvi, I think the Golem is a better nominee for this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that as well.
The titular Golem of Brooklyn. Okay, what's the next category?
Worst
It's-
mom.
Worst mom. Worst mom. Going to give this to Momo's mom from the Membranes. For reasons that we've already discussed.
It's true, yeah.
I think that genuinely traumatic reading that book. It is a masterclass in the artistic description of bad parenting, and you know whatever else needs to be said has been said about that.
All right, in the interest of spreading the love around, I did consider Angelina's mom from Feast While You Can, but spreading the love around, I'm nominating the stepmom from Shell Game, who is wildly abusive to our main character, but also we see her parenting her biological child, and woo, just awful. She's not, like, beating her and breaking her arm and making anything, like, quite the way that she is to her sort of stepdaughter, but the way that she insists on controlling her daughter's every move and making her daughter feel terrible for her having an illness, and so forth. She was just really appallingly bad.
Yeah, for reasons I think Leora actually laid out best earlier. Gonna give it to the Membranes mom here.
Yeah, no question.
The mom for the Shell Games is startlingly bad. I will give it. She is a really bad mom, but like the mom from the Membranes has like an additional dimension of narrative possibility in which to work.
Right. And the thing is that the mom from the Membranes is just, she's so awful and she's so self-righteous about it and so convinced of her good parenting skills. I think she really is everything we hate about like the autism mom, just boiled down into a character.
Momo's mom has a lot going on.
There is something I've been thinking a lot about, a specific writing skill which is related to this, which is just that when you're writing in speculative fiction, you can often have villains who are very over the top evil, but if they're not also evil in ordinary ways, people will not actually find them very repulsive. Like you know, oh no, he's going to use the space laser to destroy the planet full of people that we've never actually met, doesn't actually make you dislike the character. He has to also do something that's more normal. And I just feel like Momo's mom is so perfect for that. Like, she is science fiction evil, and she's also regular evil. Like,
Yes.
All right. Next category is
Best Possessor?
Best Possessor. Again, a very strong year for this category after like a
Yes.
couple of years where it wasn't, super centralized. Leora, go ahead.
Yeah, I considered a whole lot of things, including Sebasta, Hawk, the Pit Monster, Joanna from Joanna's bodies, but ultimately I came down on Phoenix from the Incandescent because I thought that the relationship between the possessor and the possessed was really powerful there. It was a really important part of the book. Specifically the touches where, like, Phoenix is possessing Safi and going for daily runs and cooking home fresh bread and, like, treating her body better than it's ever been treated was just, like, such a great possessor moment. And that the students are like, something is deeply wrong. She called us chum or whatever. It was just fantastic. I thought the character of Phoenix was really compelling. That's my pick.
That would have been my pick, so I will pivot to one of my backups. I'm just to throw a wrench in the works. I'm going to give it to Farain from Asunder, who, who's like good enough to be nominated as a token good man. So pretty good as far as best possessors go, and also just like a real deconstruction of the possession idea that we've come to know and love in Wizzles, because it's like, what if the man in your head is good actually, and you might like him in a sort of heterosexual fashion? And does that actually improve things at all? Does it just make things more complicated? And so it brings up a lot of interesting questions. And so while I think that like the Phoenix is also incredibly well done as a spin on the possession idea, I will nominate Farain.
Both real strong. Both extremely strong. I think I am going to go with the Phoenix because it really is just such a classic possession narrative. You know, she invites the Phoenix into her body specifically for power, and then the Phoenix takes her over and indeed is just actually better at commanding her body than she is. You know, it eats better, cooks better, is honestly, is a better administrator, if not a better teacher. Goes for runs. So I think I'm going to go with the Phoenix. Also, the Phoenix wants to be there and Farain doesn't.
Yeah, I'm also giving it to the Phoenix.
Understandable. It's the Phoenix now, from that book, you know, with the incandescent glow. Okay, our next award, we're getting into the named awards here. This is we're starting to get into the real prestige territory. And the first named award is the Whale Award for Most Disruptive Plot Twist, named, of course, for The Fortunate Fall. And it's so great to see Cameron Reed back in publishing again. Some really great stories this year from Cameron Reed, which is perhaps not reflected in the spirit of this award, but I will nominate for the Whale Award for Most Disruptive Plot Twist everything that happens in Zeta Base that doesn't involve blowing up the sun.
Compelling.
Because that's a book where there's one real important super objective and then a lot of
It's
things.
so pressing, and they do anything else except address it for so long.
So everything, including the nude wrestling that happens in Zeta Base that does not involve blowing up the sun, is my nominee for the Whale Award.
Fantastic. I'm nominating the Let's Call Larry David plot twist in The Golem of Brooklyn, when we're just like in the middle of this setting at a KKK rally, and they're like, who can we call that you'll trust to be a moral authority on this issue? And then they like get Larry David on the phone.
And then he gives terrible advice.
Right, because he thinks it's a bit. Or maybe he doesn't think it's a bit.
Larry David, who's devoted like dozens of years of his life to making a TV show about why you should not consider Larry David to be a moral authority.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Well, good luck, judges.
Both incredibly strong. I'm going to go with Zeta Base here just because when I first read this book and no one else had read it, I felt like I was adrift in this hell of my own making where I was so sure that the book was going to be about them solving this problem, and just with each successive like romance and art subplot, it became more and more infuriating and baffling to me. So for me it's Zeta Base, but Leora's is incredibly strong.
Yeah, these are both great. The funny thing is that in both in Zeta Base, they tell you up front that what they need to do is blow up the sun, and then they do. And In The Golem of Brooklyn, actually, like, calling Larry David is fairly well foreshadowed. And is also in keeping with, like, the genre conventions that the book establishes. So it is funny to me that To the Resurrection Station got snubbed here. But I think in the end I am going to go with Zeta Base, because while we do eventually reach the thing that is foreshadowed, it takes us so long, and everything that happens on the way makes no sense. And is indeed, as Kiana says, baffling and infuriating, and yet fun. I feel like this really, because I feel like, the Whale Award really is about honoring science fiction that has the courage to just be batshit. And I think that Zeta Base really, lives up to that.
Zeta Base. I would posit that the reason To the Resurrection Station was not nominated is because a disruptive plot twist requires a plot to disrupt.
That's fair. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Complimentary. Brackets
Yeah.
complimentary.
Yes, well, definitely, parentheses, complimentary. Yeah, no. Okay, Zeta Base it is.
And that leads us to the Valhalla Award for the specialist little guy. I'm nominating Zeta Base because that whole episode was just you both being like, but why? But it's so fun. But why? But it's so fun, which I really felt is in keeping with the essence of the Valhalla Award of everything is totally batshit. This whole thing is disruptive plot twists. Why aren't we just blowing up the sun? Blow up the sun! Naked nipple wrestling. It was a very special little guy.
Well, I mean, that is also my nominee, but in an effort to make things interesting, I will nominate To the Resurrection Station, because it is also a scrappy little weirdo of a book, and it made me very happy. And I would say that it has its own internal logic, which carries it, and which you really sort of have to go with it in order to get to, which is a sort of a hallmark of this award. But ultimately, like, the Valhalla Award is for a book where you get to the end of it and you're like, I really enjoyed that experience and I don't know why. And that's more Zeta Base than To the Resurrection Station. So I'll throw that over to the judges.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to, again, do very bad award show protocol and vote for To the Resurrection Station because I feel like both of these books indeed have the courage to be batshit and should both be honored. Though Isaac does make a pretty compelling point for why Zeta Base is closer to being the best scrappy little weirdo.
I'm gonna go Zeta Base, and I think what cinches it for me here is that Valhalla Award, this might not be in the letter of the law, but I think of self-indulgence on the part of the author, like, going hand in hand with it, right? Like, the kind of specific batshit fun that you only get when people turn off their, like,
Their inner
critic, yeah. And Zeta Base, the reason it takes them so long to get to blowing up the sun is because they're doing all these incredibly fun, stupid lesbian things, which the author had a ton of fun writing. So,
all right, Lee.
Alexis, you made a mistake.
Which is?
Uh-oh.
You have passed this decision to me, Eleanor Arnasson superfan.
Oh, I knew what I was doing.
And I know that I think that, the correct thing to do, and everyone has made it clear, is that Zeta Base is your special little guy, but To the Resurrection Station is my special little guy. So I am giving it to the Resurrection Station.
There we go.
To what Kiana said, I think the self-indulgence is present in both works. I mean,
Yeah, but
Oh,
you gotta admit, Zeta Base has the edge there.
Yeah, it does. To the Resurrection Station. Wow. All right. Excellent. I think that worked out the way that it should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Just by a
we got
nose.
to pick their specialist scrappy little
There
weirdo.
you go. That's what the award is about
Right.
Yeah.
in the end.
I have spent so many years telling people to read that book. No, really, you don't understand. It's good. No, I can't explain the plot to you. It's not possible.
So
I would also like to give just an honorable mention to Stars in My Pocket Like Grains of Sand.
the thing is, that's not a scrappy little weirdo.
But that's the thing, though. Despite being a huge novel written by an important writer and famous and well respected, it still gives off this energy somehow.
Yes.
That's true.
I
It
will-
does.
Yeah, yeah.
It still gives off the self-indulgent, what is happening?
That
Why are
shit
we here?
plot
What is
twist.
going on with the pacing and all of that energy that we've come to expect from the Valhalla Award.
Mm-hmm.
It is not actually applicable, but I just thought I'd mention it.
No, it deserves the shout out.
Now, the Divine Endurance Award for Overwhelming Sadness. Wait a minute. Who starts here? No, it's me, isn't it?
It's you.
Yeah.
I will nominate the Membranes for this award for reasons that I think should be obvious. I think that nominees for this award, going from Divine Endurance, should be elegaic. Should be like a slow burn, which just sort of increases the scope of the sadness with every page. And the fact that this starts out as a sad slice of life story and ends the way that it does. And as the membranes are peeled back, you get a different flavor of sadness. It's like an everlasting gobstopper of sadness, this book. And so for the parade of sadnesses that this book has, the smorgasbord of sadnesses, 2 food metaphors, I will give it to the membranes.
Going to my next on the list. I am nominating Abstraction is when I design giant death creatures, and Attraction is when I do it for you, because it made me sad. It just made me sad afterwards. I was like, wow, this makes me sad about my life. This makes me sad about, it's sad on a relationship level for the family. It makes you sad because it's I had this really cool artistic hobby and now I have monetized it in the worst possible way. Yeah, just made me sad. Complimentary.
Oh, that's really tough. I was gonna give it to the Membranes, no contest, but that short story really hit me where it hurts. And particularly the sibling aspect of it kind of devastated me. So I'm gonna vote for that one.
Yeah, I thought Membranes was a shoo-in, and then
Yeah.
And I think when it comes down to it, I am still going to vote for the Membranes because, I think because part of the thing about Divine Endurance is that it's such a beautiful tragedy, and I think the Membranes really has that it is tragic on a personal level, and it is tragic on a global level, and it is also has this nostalgic sadness for, was there ever a time when things weren't this bad? So I think it is closer to the spirit of the original, the trope namer.
Lee.
Oof. Good job on the nominating. These are 2 different works, both of which I constantly feel the urge to grab people by the shoulders, shake them, and go, read this, until they agree to do so.
It will make you sad.
And
Sad.
they're so sad. They're so sad.
You want to be sad?
I feel like that is the essence of the Divine Endurance Award, right? Is that it's a book that makes, or story that makes you grab somebody and go, you must read this, it will make you so sad.
It's true. Gosh. I really, I hate this. Okay, you've finally given me a really hard one. I'm gonna go for Abstraction. Is when I design giant death monsters, and Attraction is when I do it for you. Because it was sort of grindingly sad in a way that I don't know. I feel like is very characteristic of Divine Endurance, like in and also of Gwyneth Jones's other works. It's possible I'm being influenced here by some of Gwyneth Jones's other stories, but that's sort of there's actually nothing you can do. You just get ground down and destroyed. There's no meaning to it, but then also you're completely accountable for all the horrible things you do in the process of you getting ground down and destroyed. And that's just that's just really awful. Anyway,
So sad.
so I'm gonna go with that one.
Sad.
It's very sad. You if you're listening to this, go read it. It's so good. Anyway,
Lovely. I love it. Abstraction is when I design giant death creatures, and attraction is when I do it for you. Wow. Yeah, I think those are three really strong choices for those our most important categories.
Yes.
And then we have the less important trilogy of categories, which are best short story, best bonus story, and book of the year. Now, for best short story, Liara, would you like to go first, please?
Sure. I'm gonna nominate Bride Butcher Doe. It was great. It was beautifully written. It was super whiz-les. It was bloody and cannibalistic and body horror and weird. And I thought it was great.
Because that would have been my pick, I'm going to throw attraction abstraction back in there. For reasons we've already discussed. Alexis.
I'm gonna go with Bride Butcher Doe because I think it, for one thing, like, we haven't been giving due recognition to cannibalism as much as perhaps we should be, and I think it really encapsulated a lot of what I want short fiction to be in particular, which is brutal and weird.
Should we throw in an emergency best cannibalism
There were so
awards
many.
here? Because there were so many of them this year. Probably we don't have time.
I don't think we
but
have time.
Something to keep in mind for
Shout
next year.
out to Starving Saints.
That was there was a lot of cannibalism in that one.
Anyway, so my vote is Bride Butcher Doe.
Yeah, it has my vote as well. Just don't want to make Lee do another tie break back to back.
Bride Butcher Doe. Okay, excellent choice. Now, bonus work of the year. I guess was Moby Dick actually a bonus episode?
It was.
No, it
wasn't.
me.
Weirdly.
No, it was a mainline episode.
Oh, I was counting
So that
it as
doesn't
a
count.
bonus work for the purpose of this award because I felt like it should get something when I
I-
suggested excluding it.
I think Moby Dick just wins. It's Moby Dick. But
I think it should never win anything. 'Cause
Exactly.
It's our white whale.
Oh, that's
Indeed. So no, Moby Dick weirdly was not a bonus episode.
Wowie, wowie, wow. How the worm has turned. In that case, I will, out of all of the various bonus works that we've done on this podcast this year, how about Middlemarch?
Oh.
How about Middlemarch?
Very strong.
A work of a classic work of literature.
Yeah.
Also one of the more alive authors, actually. One of the least dead.
It's true.
Which I could have mentioned back then. But oh gosh, it's very, very, very difficult this year, actually, because we have the entire Vows and Honor. No, not Vows and Honor. Good Lord. We have the entire Aubrey Maturin series to work with. We have Stars in My Pocket. We have Piranesi.
And the Rag Picker, which was quite good.
The Rag Picker, which it would be a shame if we didn't mention, because that in another year that might have been in contention for one of the special awards also.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna set Middlemarch down on the table with a resounding thud.
Okay, I am nominating Biting the Sun,
Ooh.
which is just real good and real fun and real bonkers, and you had a great discussion about it, and also I really enjoyed it.
I'll go Middlemarch because, both of these episodes were incredibly fun, but I really, really liked the Middlemarch episode. A lot of good bonus episodes this year, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
This is very hard for me because both of these were, books I'm glad that I read and also episodes I had a lot of fun recording. I'm going to vote for Biting the Sun largely because I still mildly resent myself for putting off reading Middlemarch until I had to do it all in the course of a single Saturday. So, just in terms of a more enjoyable experience for me personally, Biting the Sun.
Lee, what's the better book? Biting the Sun or Middlemarch?
Oh my god. This is activating my like college creative writing professor telling me I needed to swear off writing science fiction forever. Like this is there's and then like also that like in the last 5 years I have had to overcome that in myself and be like, actually classical literature is good and reverse snobbery is stupid. So this is a very emotional decision for me for reasons that have nothing to do with the contents of the books.
It's the ideal versus the real over again.
I know it's so.
Also, are we going to force Lee to vote against one of their friends?
Well, I mean, okay, like I'm not.
Yeah.
To be clear, like Rachel is a friend of mine. I don't actually know. Oh my god, I blanked on the name of the woman who wrote Biting the Sun. Please, someone tell me. Tanith Lee, of course. I don't actually know Tanith Lee. I love Tanith Lee. She's absolutely bizarre writer. Oh gosh. I mean, no, I gotta go with Middlemarch.
That's fair.
It's very good. It's just a very
really
good
is.
book.
Yeah.
No, I mostly just.
Wow.
I love Biting the Sun. You should read both of these books if you're listening to this.
But don't read all of Middlemarch in a day. I recommend against it.
Do not do what Alexis did.
Not a psychologically healthy choice.
Middlemarch. I think this is maybe our best awards show yet. Honestly, I think that. I mean, not to get ahead of ourselves. 5 years in, still going strong.
Are you rating this by how much you can torture Lee?
Yes.
Audibly on the podcast.
Actually, I'm rating it by how widely we dipped for our various nominees. I felt like last year it was just so overwhelmingly one really excellent book for the categories, and I felt like we did a good job getting that.
We still have one more award to go.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, Leora, you're right. Like a lot of scrappy guys and little short stories being nominated here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, it is time for Book of the Year. Moby Dick is eligible for this category, but Leora, it is your turn to pick first.
Oh damn! I really wasn't expecting Moby Dick to be eligible, and now I feel. I'm nominating When They Burned the Butterfly. It was really good. It made me sad. It made me excited. It was interesting. And it was just very Wizzles. I feel like it, of what we read this year, I feel like it really encapsulated so much of what makes the Wizzles genre compelling.
Moby Dick is the best book that we read this year. And with that in mind, I'm going to nominate Lote.
Oh.
Great choice.
I nominate that for next year's Whale Award for Most Disruptive Plot Twist.
Because Lote is the book that surprised me and delighted me the most this year. I had no idea what to expect from it. It came out of nowhere. As far as I know, there's nothing else that this author has published, or no full novels that the author has published since. And I thought it was just beautiful and well researched and tickled me in interesting ways, and it's still stuck in my head. And it was a powerful enough book that it gave both Kiana and Alexis migraines just by reading it.
Yeah.
A true magical tome, and also just the way that it ended on the this hopeful note that just crashed right into the pandemic. You know, it really stuck with me. So, yeah, Load is my nominee.
Well, When They Burned the Butterfly made me feel more optimistic about about the possibility that speculative fiction is going to continue to be brutal and weird and not just devolve purely into cozies. And Loat, as previously mentioned, gave me a terrible 1.5 day long migraine. So I'm voting for When They Burned the Butterfly.
Kiana?
All right. I'm sorry, Lee. I do have to go Loat here because despite it giving me a migraine, I think that it's just incredibly powerful. It's one of the most interesting books I've read in the past few years that I can think of. It's beautiful, and Garou is straight up a wizard. All his art and philosophical bullshit is just astoundingly written, and yeah, I'll go with Loat.
Lee?
I think just in the way that I'm going to make this decision is that I'm just going to view it from the perspective of the podcast, which is the focus is on speculative fiction in which wizards fight lesbians. And so I have to give it to Butterfly, which just definitely has those things. Definitely wizards, definitely lesbians. They're definitely fighting. It is both a very good book and a very core Wizards versus Lesbians book.
To be honest,
So,
I was
think I'm gonna
expecting you to give it to Moby Dick.
Oh gosh, I could have done that. But I mean, it's same thing, right? In the spirit of the podcast, right? This is the Wizzly's best book. It's not just best book,
Right,
period.
yeah. Because if we were giving it to best book period, it would go to Home Alone. Clearly.
Every year.
Yeah.
It would be very boring.
If we were giving this to the best Wizards versus Lesbians book, actual Wizards versus Lesbians book, then it would have gone to Feast While You Can. But also, When They Burned the Butterfly was good. So I will accept this. It's Adeline. It's Adeline. Star of When They Burned the Butterfly. It's Adeline. It's Adeline. The best book we did this year.
Well,
All right.
congratulations, everybody. 5th year completed of this podcast.
Yeah.
That's
Damn.
extremely impressive. And it has been a delight to come on this journey with you, both as an occasional guest and as a listener.
Yes, indeed. And thank you to everybody involved for bringing this in under an hour and a half. And I look forward to making some sort of order out of it. And this has been a tremendous amount of fun. And I always forget how fun these are until we do them. And so thank you for being here with me this evening.
Yes, and
And
thank you
to our
everyone
loyal audience.
for 5 entire years. Man. I remember when I expected this thing to have 5 entire listeners.
If anybody who's listening from the beginning, or at least the first few episodes, say hi.
Yes.
If you're not already one of our friends. All right.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.